The Prime Minister's promise to put the UK defence industry on a war footing and spend billions more on defence by the end of the decade is featured prominently on many of Wednesday's front pages. According to The Guardian, the pledge follows months of pressure to increase military spending, to counter increasing dangers, from Tory MPs, including the Defence Secretary. The Prime Minister is quoted in the Times report about defence spending, which states that if we ourselves are unwilling to make greater sacrifices for our own security, then NATO members cannot expect the US to pay any price to safeguard the West. The article also tells the tale of 5 individuals, one of whom was a toddler, who perished while attempting to cross the Channel. The Daily Mail refers to Rishi Sunak's commitment to raise defence expenditure to 2.5% of GDP by 2030 as the biggest boost for defence in a generation. According to the newspaper, the ruling represents a major victory for the Mail's fight on the subject. A happy photo of Prince Louis celebrating his 6th birthday appears on the main page, along with several others. The PM's comments about war footing are published in the Daily Telegraph. A £10 billion plan to hugely ramp up domestic weapons manufacture and establish the UK as, by far the largest defence power in Europe, was reportedly disclosed by Mr. Sunak. The article also discusses the deaths of migrants in the Channel and claims that the French government has come under scrutiny for permitting the aforementioned boat to sail onto Britain despite the deaths. "Let this be the last Channel tragedy," the Metro exclaims, detailing the death of a small girl and other victims, amid panic, on a boat carrying 112 migrants. The event occurred just hours after Parliament approved Rishi Sunak's Rwanda bill, which aims to discourage migrants from attempting to cross the Channel, according to the paper. According to the iDaily, Mr. Sunak's commitment is the largest increase in military spending in a decade and comes after the Prime Minister issued a threat assessment citing the axis of authoritarian states, including China, Iran, and Russia. According to the publication, he has pushed other European countries to increase the defense budget. The Daily Express claims that Mr. Sunak will eliminate 70,000 civil sector positions in order to raise the funds necessary to partially finance the project, adding that it is about time too that the UK committed to spending more on defence. The PM's pledges to increase defence spending and to provide Ukraine with an additional £500 million in military aid are also mentioned in the Financial Times. A warning that some banks are in the dark about their exposure to private equity opens the publication. In a follow-up to their story about Gilly Dando's murder, the Daily Mirror reports that a crucial witness is adamant that a guy seen running shortly after the star's death is a Serbian assassin. Following Rishi Sunak's promise of an additional £75 billion for defence over the next 6 years, many of the top pages declare that the UK is on a war footing. According to The Telegraph, artillery shells, anti-tank rockets, lasers, and hypersonic missiles will be the main weapons used. Admiral Sir Tony Radakan, the head of the armed forces, stated in a paper that the investment proved that Britain had not lost her renowned resolve. There have been months of pressure by Tory MPs to increase defence spending, according to The Guardian, which has a photo of Mr. Sunak mobbed by reporters on his plane to Warsaw. The financing is hailed as a potential election dividing line by the Daily Mail. The Times claims that although Labour has not stated if it would keep its word, it has pledged to carry out a comprehensive military and security review in the event that it is elected. Regarding the intention to transfer asylum seekers to Rwanda following legislative approval, the leading writers are still at odds. According to the Mail, the 5 migrants who drowned on Tuesday while riding in a makeshift watercraft serve as a reminder of why the Rwanda program has evolved into a moral duty. The Times calls the proposal an ambitious idea well worth undertaking, and faults Labour for providing scant tangible alternatives. The Guardian cautions that there is no proof the measure will discourage immigration. The Financial Times is concerned that the bill creates an unfavourable precedent by telling judges to consider Rwanda to be secure. The proposal, in its opinion, authorises to declare that the facts are not what the courts found them to be. A slippery slope is created, according to the Financial Times, whereby governments in the future may proclaim that someone who is acquitted of a crime is guilty or that black people are white. The Mirror continues its investigation into Jill Dando's 1999 murder, a BBC presenter who was killed in southwest London. A critical witness who was driving close to the murder scene reportedly told the newspaper that a guy she saw fleeing was Milorad Ulemek, a Serbian assassin. After the newspaper released the assassin's photo on Monday, the witness got in touch with them. According to the Mirror, he looked a lot like a man who was captured on camera close to Ms. Dando's house. According to Yulmik's attorney, his client, who is serving a 40-year sentence in Serbian prison for 2 assassinations, was unwilling to comment. A mystery that, according to The Times, may provide some insight into the life of the beloved Pride and Prejudice author is requesting assistance from Jane Austen fans. The museum, Jane Austen's house, is seeking assistance in interpreting what it refers to as her brother Sir Francis William Austen's spidery handwriting on a manuscript. Thus, in an effort to fill in some more gaps regarding the author's biography, it has established a citizen science initiative that asks readers to transcribe the book, section by section.